Okay, let's sit for a little bit of quiet together. Please take a comfortable and upright seat where you can be at home in the present moment with your body and with all of us, joining together for practice. And remind yourself that you have the life skills to navigate something like a software change. And that these are minor disruptions, so we see how we respond as a way to hint at how do we respond if there's a medium or major disruption. And allow your breathing to help you settle in so your breath can come down into the pelvis. And think of that as your center of gravity. Also, the pelvis is the center of what we call in yoga apana vayu, the downward directed vayu, energy pattern. So let's imagine that as you're breathing in, you're actually breathing into the pelvis and down into the earth, as if you had a taproot. And that as you're breathing out, tone your low belly from front to center towards your sacrum to kind of give yourself a sense of the security of the inner body. So first, this taproot that gives you a sense of connection to the earth. Second to that, this inner sense of securing your sense of home in your pelvis. Now start to make each part of the breath a little bit smoother, so the duration of your inhale and the duration of your exhale, relatively equal, but even more smooth right now. And again, you can sense the inhale. We're using imagination. The in-breath goes down into the earth. And on the exhale, bring the tone of your front belly towards your mid-belly, towards your sacrum. And then please bring your hands together at your heart, knowing that you're here to connect with your body, but also with the elements of nature and nature itself. And you're here to connect with each other, having a practice that's shared. Notice what your intention is and how that can manifest today. And we'll chant the Gayatri mantra to start. Om Bhuvasuvah Tatsavitorvarenyam. One moment. Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yona prachodayata. Om Bhuvasuvah Tatsavitorvarenyam. Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yona prachodayata. Om Bhuvasuvah Tatsavitorvarenyam. Bhargo devasya dhimahi Diyo yo na prachodayata. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. With your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart and release your hands. Please open your eyes. So we're going to come, I'm going to go to my mat back there. We're going to come down to table pose to do some work in pranayama. Because you'll probably be there for a few minutes, if you're someone who likes to have a blanket for your knees, please set that up. And I'll take my microphone back. We won't hear now the sound of the computer. So in this table pose this morning, I'd also like you to have 2 blocks close by. Let me just get this set. So I have a double yoga mat, which is why you don't see me padding it with a blanket. But when you do come down to table pose, we're going to do some familiar things, some customary things, and then I want to give it a little change up. Let's see. I don't want to pull that off the shelf there. Okay, so table pose. We're going to inhale to cat pose, which is familiar to all of you. And then exhale backwards towards child's pose and blow out through the mouth. Now inhale forward to cat. Exhale cow pose, blow through the mouth. Inhale to cat. Child's pose. Cat pose. Cow pose. Child's pose. Now inhale forward to table pose, and let's place 1 block under each hand, and I'm going to ask you to do it on the medium setting, so it's a little bit higher, like this. Now when we go back to child's pose in this height with the blocks, I want you to go back and keep your head resting between your upper arms. So it's not going to drop all the way down to the floor like this, but resting between the upper arms. Okay, so let's do same thing for now. Inhale to cat pose, breathe in through your nose. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, cat. Cow. Notice how it is to have longer arms. Inhale, cat. Child's pose. Inhale, cat. Cow pose. And table pose. Good. Now I'm going to ask you to sit back to kneeling to watch me for a few moments, and I want to accentuate how we can get some thoracic twisting in the upper back while being thoughtful. So it's going to be like these miniature twists alongside the vertebrae, not a major twist to start. So if you watch me for a moment, when you have your arm elevated, and this will be my right arm for now, And I'm going to ask you to let the rib cage drop down so that from the rib cage to the left arm it's very passive, but the right arm is stable. So your thoracic spine is rotating to your right in this case. Then I'm going to push down into my right hand until I sense that I've leveled the torso off. Then I want to keep going. So the right arm is making the strength of this, and then you can add to that the lift of the left arm. Each time when we come down, I am going to ask you to go into what I call the deficit, because I don't have a better word for it. It means that you're lower than your shoulder. You're down in this deficit. And then you're going to press to level. You'll keep pressing down with the right arm, and your left arm will be added. So it's not this is not your driving factor. This is not your motivating factor. It's like an addition. Okay, let's try that together, please. On your right arm first. So drop down. Relax the weight of your head. See what it's like to keep the right arm steady while you soften your upper back, your rib cage, your left arm. And now as you exhale, begin to press with your right arm. Push into the floor, level your rib cage. Now press firmly with your right arm until the rib cage rises left. And then inhale, float your left arm up. And exhale to come down slowly, 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 and allow your rib cage to rest on the strength of your right arm. So your rib cage and your left arm can have confidence in your right arm. And exhale to push again. Rotate. Inhale, raise your left arm. Exhale to lower. And as you come down, allow yourself a full breath here in this sort of passive position for the left arm. And then once more, exhale to push. Rotate. Inhale, raise your left arm. And then exhale, bring your left hand down to the block. Okay, and let's try the other side. So you can think of the right arm, sometimes I like to say it like it's an elephant trunk. It's very relaxed right now. Keep the left arm steady. Let's breathe in. And then exhale, press down through your left arm, make it strong, and continue with that until your rib cage does rotate right. And then inhale, raise your right arm. And exhale to lower this one down. Enjoy an inhale while you're here. Exhale to push. Use the strength of your left arm. Rotate your rib cage. Inhale, raise your right arm. And exhale to lower. And one more time. Breathing in. Exhale to push. Inhale, raise your right arm. And then exhale to lower to table pose. And now put the right block well forward of your left block. And as you stretch back towards child's pose, just place the left elbow. It's nothing to rest on, so just bend your left elbow for now and reach back with your right arm. Stretched out in front of you. And your right hip reaching back towards the wall behind you. Okay, and then inhale, come forward to this version of table pose where it's like you're a tiger in the jungle. There's your inhale. Exhale, reach back like child's pose. Bend the left elbow. I know it has nothing to rest on. Inhale, come forward like table pose into cow pose. Exhale, back towards child's pose. While keeping both arms strong, your hips are not likely to make it to your heels. That is okay. Inhale, forward like cow pose. And exhale, reach back as if to child's pose, knowing that you won't make your hips to your heels all the way. And now place your right hand and right block back where they were. Step your left hand forward. Okay. Inhale in table. And then exhale, reach back like you're going to child's pose, but the hips won't make it to the heels. Inhale, glide forward through table to cow pose. Let yourself come forward, your weight bearing in the arms. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, come forward. Even if it feels awkward, notice that you're getting new musculoskeletal patterns. We're going to exhale, reach back one more time towards child's pose. And inhale one more time, forward to cow pose. And then exhale, bring your right hand back to this block. Set them both up now to rise into downward facing dog pose. So some of what you were doing there would be new or unfamiliar or something you don't do on a daily basis. So you're getting new neuromuscular pathways. And I think right now we're going to need a lot of innovation and curiosity and keeping things fresh and open so we can be looking for solutions, for collaborations. So just notice how you're responding to that which is unknown or kind of innovative in your body in the practice so far. Now, downward dog is familiar, and many of you have been with me since COVID-19 online here, and you know I'm fond of using the 2 blocks for your dog pose. So you can also notice how you respond when something familiar comes in the sequence. Now exhale, please bring your right foot forward, touch your left knee down. This is like the pose Anjaneyasana. We're going to keep the hands on the 2 blocks for now. Glide your hips forward, please. Come up to your fingertips and raise your chest and your heart and your throat like a cow pose. Root the tailbone down, and as you lift your heart, breathe in, raise your chin. And then exhale from your chin, curl down towards your throat, and place your palms flat on the 2 blocks. Step backwards, downward dog pose. Exhale, left foot forward, touch your right knee down. Glide your hips forward. Come up to your fingertips, lift your heart, and do your best to open your throat, lift your gaze. You can imagine stretching from your pubic bone upwards towards your chin. And one more time, breathing in. And then exhale, curl your chin down towards your throat. And then place your hands on the 2 blocks and step forward, Uttanasana. Bring your right foot to meet your left foot. Now but inhale to rise, upward hands pose. Then exhale, bring your hands to your heart. I'll step back so you can see my full height. And interlace your fingers, take the arms up overhead, and please look up. Now exhale, turn your palms face down, bring your left elbow down so your right elbow is behind you. We did this on Saturday, I think. Inhale, lift your heart, press your head back into your forearm. And then exhale, stretch your palms up, heels of the hands up. Inhale, look up. Exhale, palms facing your head, bring your right elbow down so the left arm is behind your head. Now inhale, press your head back, lift your heart. Exhale, release, raise the heels of your hands. Inhale to look up. And exhale, sweep your arms wide, open the sky of your mind. Join your hands at your heart. Notice again when you come back to this familiar, this sort of plumb line moment. What was your experience with innovation or with the unfamiliar? Now we're going to step into Surya Namaskar. Let me adjust my camera height, please. So please come to the front of your yoga mat for Surya Namaskar. And plan to have a couple of twists for the belly and the upper back. Join your palms together. May this practice remind us of our connection to nature and to each other, and also our inner capacity for innovation and for reflecting, stabilizing, collaborating. Let's go inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Please use your Ujjayi breath. Exhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, open the arms. Come to your right as you bow forward to Uttanasana. Inhale, open the arms, go left. Rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, palms wide, raise up. Open your heart, your body, your breath, your mind. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale to rise. Open the arms to your left and bow down, left leg, center, Uttanasana. Inhale to the right, keeping your legs steady. Exhale, hands to the heart. Continue, please. Urdhva Hastasana, breathing in. And now Uttanasana straight away. Keep your feet and legs strong, please. Bow down towards your legs. Inhale, heart forward, and also raise your chin forward. Open your throat. Exhale, left toes back. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to your heart, left elbow to your right knee. Inhale, rise up. Keep your right leg steady. Exhale, left elbow to your right knee. Inhale, rise up. Steady in your front leg, front heel, front hip. Exhale, left elbow to your left knee. Keep the left leg steady all the way to the toes. And now inhale, twist right. Stay here as you press your left elbow down against your right knee. Twist your right elbow towards the sky. And breathe in one more time. And then exhale to release both hands to the blocks. Okay, inhale, step forward, bring your heart forward, open your throat. Exhale to bow deeply towards your legs. This is what we would call the familiar. It's symmetrical, it's inward, we do it all the time. Inhale, glide forward. Now taking the right toes back, keep your left heel grounded. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. This is also familiar. And I know we've done this twisty thing before, but we don't do it every day. So as you exhale, touch your right elbow to your left knee. Stay steady. Inhale, rise up. Keep your left hip, left heel strong. Exhale, right elbow to your left knee. Inhale to rise. And exhale, as we come down this time, we're going to stay. So hook your right elbow onto your left knee. Press firmly down. And as you're twisting left, root your right elbow onto your left knee, left shin, down to your left heel. And raise your left elbow towards the ceiling. Then breathing in. As you exhale, release to touch both blocks and step backwards to downward facing dog pose. You now exhale, come forward to plank pose. Breathe in. Exhale, squeeze your right knee to your left elbow. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, left knee to your right elbow. Inhale, plank pose. Right knee, left elbow. Inhale, plank. Left knee, right elbow. Inhale, plank. Twice more. Plank. Last one. Plank pose. And then downward facing dog pose. And notice what happens to your breath in your belly after some gentle exertion in the abdomen. And now with your exhale, step your awkward foot forward first, and then your second foot, Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward, raise your heart and your chin. Exhale, bow towards your legs. Going to the right, inhale, rise up. Going left, exhale, descend. Inhale, left, rise up. Exhale, right, descend. Inhale, rise, center. Exhale to the heart. Now we're going to add a little twist to Anjaneyasana. So I'm going to ask you to come down, and if you want padding for your knee, of course you can use it. But right foot forward, left knee back. And please put both blocks on the right side and stack them up. You don't know how tall you'll need them to be just yet, but you can kind of get ready for it. And so in Anjaneyasana, the hips do come forward and the heart does go up, but I don't want us to feel like you're creasing into or collapsing into your right hip. We're going to cross the left elbow over the right knee, and sometimes it helps if you put your hand here and give a little support so that as you're going, you're going to rotate, hook your elbow to the best of your ability. Then join your palms for starters. And as you press down with your left arm on your right knee, also press your right knee into your left arm. So the left arm can't really push the right knee around. And then as you're twisting, see if you can gaze back over your right shoulder, over your right elbow. And breathing in, breathing out. At a steady cadence, to the best of your ability, with a smooth inhale, smooth exhale. Notice what it takes to sustain a steady gaze also. Or if your eyes feel like wandering about, what might that reflect about the nature of your mind? We're going to exhale to release thoughtfully. Now these two blocks are here. I'd like you to raise your left leg, straighten it. Place your left hand on the tall block and try to secure that you have your right knee and your left forearm against each other. And twist to your right by pressing your right hand down against your right thigh. Turn your belly to the right, but not your left hip. But keep the left leg strong and long behind you. Try to focus this as really the churning of the belly, not the distortion of your back leg or your pelvis, the churning of the belly. And then let's exhale to release. Place your left fingertips down and decide if you're going to step forward, left foot to meet your right. Or if you have a different exit pathway, you can do that. Move the blocks over to the other side. And step backwards, please, with your right foot. Touch your right knee down to the mat or the blanket. And find your Anjaneyasana to start. Let the hips come a little bit forward, a little bit forward. And then cross your right elbow over. Good. Some of you can cross more deeply because it's your capacity to do so. Some of us will cross less deeply. Place your palms. Press down firmly with your right elbow against your left knee. And gaze back over your left elbow. And notice if you can make both the breath and your gaze steady. And when you're ready to, you're going to exhale, unwind gently. Place your left hand on your left thigh, straighten your right leg, and cross your right forearm to the outside of these two blocks. You can make them taller or lower if you want to. But I want us to really practice churning the belly. So you're going to swoosh the left low belly across your thigh to your left. Keep your right leg stable, so long and strong. And breathing in. You're now going to exhale, release your right fingertips to the floor. Let's put the two blocks aside and step backwards to downward dog pose. And notice what happens now after the churning of the belly. Well, that wasn't sort of precisely the way you might have done those poses in the past, particularly the churning of the belly across your lap. So just check and see what's happening. What does it inspire? What does it challenge? Great, and then please touch your knees down and reach for a blanket that you can roll. We're going to take this blanket like so. And please roll it. So you've got a snug little roll. You can decide if you're going to roll it only part way or all the way. And part of the deciding factor is what's happening in your abdomen and what is the distance between your floating ribs and your hip bones. So when I roll this, I'm going to be placing the belly button on the center of the blanket roll, and I don't have a situation where it's touching either my ribs or my hips. So I don't want the blanket to be impeding on your floating ribs nor pressing on your hip bones. And come to your elbows. We call this the slumber party pose. You tuck the right toes under, lift your right heel and lengthen your right leg back. Okay. Tuck the left toes under, lift your heel back there and lengthen your left leg back. And then walk your elbows forward. You're stretching yourself out here. And then relax the weight of your head. This is a variation on the slumber party pose, right? This isn't how we had our slumber parties. But as you walked the elbows forward, when you release your head, my hope is that you can rest your head against your forearms or on your upper arms. And of course, you may be feeling your heartbeat in your belly. You might be feeling a lot of things in your belly. And please bend both knees so your feet point up towards the ceiling. And then just let the feet and the shins rock a little bit side to side, as if they were like windshield wipers. but really slow. And of course you're fanning across the abdomen, so you might have like a lot of sensations, some unusual. And slowly let that rocking come to center. Touch your toes down to the floor. Walk your hands back to a place beneath your shoulders. Please bow your head. And then press up to table pose. And now place your knees on this blanket, please. And one block for the head for child's pose. I'm smiling at you. If you can't see me, I'm just letting you know. So we raise the knees for this child's pose. Put them outside your rib cage too, so there's a place for the belly to relax down between the inner thighs. So this work we're doing in twisting, in the Anjaneyasana twist and the churning of the belly twist. And that belly bolster thing, and this also, we are trying to go back to that concept of Apana Vayu. That is the Vayu in the pelvis that helps us to be our most grounded. So allow your breathing to come down, to touch the pelvic floor, the deep belly and abdomen. And then please walk your hands back towards your knees. Rise up. And we'll take this same blanket and we're going to put it now horizontally on your yoga mat. I'm going to show you from the side here, so I'll move mine. I don't know if you guys can hear this because you heard my computer fan before. Right now the ice cream truck is circling our neighborhood with that song, the one that's not going to leave my head for a while now. It's 12:45 on a Monday. The kids should be studying. This ice cream truck is it's actually sitting still. It stopped circling, so it must have some customers. Maybe they're adults, I don't know. But there it is. Perhaps you can't hear it. Lie backwards over this blanket roll, please. And let's do this. I want you to try to get your shoulder blades to be on the blanket. And if you'll really fix your shoulder blades firmly, and then keep your shoulder blades on the blanket, but give a little push with your feet so that you end up kind of rolling over the blanket a little bit, and you've made the skin of the neck go down away from the base of your skull. And then take the arms out into cactus pose, also called goalpost pose. And tip both knees down to your left. The knees should be like the letter Z. They are wide, not together. Turn your head to the right. If anything is uncomfortable in the twist, one hypothesis is that your blanket might be too thick and you have to unroll it partly. Another hypothesis is where you are on the blanket, you've got a stiff spot in your thoracic spine. So do make sure that your upper arms are kind of flowing over the backside of the blanket. Now breathing in, lengthen your right thigh. And breathing out, tone your front belly towards your sacrum. Now if you'd like, you can take the back of your right hand or wrist to the left temple and just give a little stability there, not a lot of pressure. And then reach your right arm long overhead. Left arm long overhead. To the back of your right hand to your left temple. When you take the left arm overhead and you're reaching it long, it's possible that where your left arm is, you can slip the fingers of your right hand under your left arm. And that might give you a little bit more security as you twist your head to the right. And then releasing your arms to cactus pose, please bring your head to center and roll your knees up to center. And check again that you're flowing over this blanket roll. The shoulders are coming down towards the floor. You've got your cactus pose or goalpost arms. And then take both knees down to your right, like the letter Z, so they're not going to be touching each other. They are separated. And turn your head to your left. As you're breathing in and breathing out, if everything feels smooth and kind, you can take the back of your left hand or the back of your wrist to rest on your right temple. And you may also choose to lengthen your right arm, in which case your left fingers can go under your right arm for a little more stability. And then release your right arm, left arm, cactus pose. Bring your nose to center. Raise your knees up. Check in with the upper back and heart. And then roll to your side. Whisk this little blanket out from under where it's been. You have an option this morning for Shavasana, or I should say this afternoon. So we can take one block for the shoulder blades, like this, and one block for the head, like this. And then you can weight the blanket on the legs, or you can actually use your sandbag across your lap as well. This position, where the block is for the shoulder blades, is a chest opening, heart opening pose, and you can have the palms face out and up. Or you can bring your hands down onto your abdomen. My recommendation is this, palms up and out. Now the block under your head is deliberately taller. It's on the medium setting right there. And you can close your eyes. And even if you're just using the blanket across your lap, try to sense the grounding effect for the apana vayu, that is the downward vayu of the body. Make no particular effort to breathe right now. In fact, the effort you can make is to allow yourself to be breathed. And keep your gaze down on the stillness, the steadiness of the legs. So again, I asked earlier if the eyes could be steady. It reflects the quality of the mind. By encouraging your eyes to be stable, steady, you can help support your mind. As you're gazing down, looking at nothing in particular, just let the legs get heavier while your body takes care to breathe you. Letting your eyes stay steady and downward. The legs get heavier, and Apana Vayu flows down. Allow your eyes to remain still, the legs to get more grounded, your mind very simple. thighs to be heavy and steady downward. And for the legs to get heavier, more grounded. And see if your mind can be still in the pattern called Apanavayu. Now keeping everything heavy with the toes, the heels, the arches of your feet. Stay relaxed and simple. And rotate only your head to your right on the block. And imagine a smooth channel of energy from your left occiput down the inner left hemisphere of your body to your left heel and beyond. And roll your head to center. Go to your left. And imagine a pathway on the right hemisphere of the body from the base of your skull on the right, down the entire hemisphere of the body to your right heel. And rotate that back to center also. If you have a sandbag on your lap, you can remove it. Otherwise, simply bend your knees. The blocks are a little bit awkward. Sometimes it's hard to roll down sideways, so please be thoughtful as you come down. You can rest on your side for a few moments there. Take a seat for just a short bit together. And take a seat. And rest your hands on your lap. And consider again, we have these inner opportunities and also commitments to be connected to ourselves as a resource for our community, to be connected to our communities and also to nature, and the need to know how we're going to innovate, collaborate, while also respecting where stability is needed and where tradition has supported stability. You can bring your hands together at your heart. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. up to see you there. I need to change my spotlight. Okay. Hi. The sun is really coming in. Okay. How did you do? You're feeling grounded, I hope? So no in the chat, let's see. Oh, is that all? Yes. Thank you, Rami. Yeah, that's your shoulder deserves kindness. Yeah, yeah, very good. Yeah, the space we can get to underneath the shoulder blade. When we do that first thing, right? You're going under the shoulder blade. The tissue's under there. We rarely think about it. So yeah, getting in there is really important. Thank you, Emily, for your beautiful note.